Hey kiddos, welcome back to Storytime with Crampy Fat Rat. Today we're going to be reading another one out of the bedtime story tree. So you guys get all comfy, get cuddled up, and here we go. We're going to actually be doing Pinocchio. Old Geppetto was making a puppet. As he cut wood, he heard a voice. "Please don't hurt me," it said quietly. Geppetto looked all around his workshop. He could not see anyone, so he went on with his work. When he made the puppet's eyes, they moved. When he made the mouth, it laughed. When he made the feet, they kicked. "You are just like a real boy," said Geppetto. "I am going to name you Pinocchio." When the puppet was completed, Geppetto showed Pinocchio how to walk. Naughty Pinocchio had other ideas. He ran into the street and away from Geppetto. The kindly puppet maker ran after him, calling out. A policeman thought Geppetto was being unkind and took him to the police station. Instead of being sorry for the trouble he had caused, Pinocchio skipped home feeling very pleased. At home, though, awaited a surprise. "Boys who run away are sorry in the end," said the talking cricket to Pinocchio. "You may be a talking cricket," said Pinocchio, throwing a hammer at the little green insect, "but I'm not taking any notice of anything you have to say." Pinocchio went out into the rain to find some food, but nobody would give him any. He returned home hungry and sat by the fire and fell sound asleep. Pinocchio was awakened by a knock at the door. It was Geppetto. Pinocchio got up to let him in, but stumbled and fell over. "The fire had eaten my wooden feet," cried Pinocchio. Geppetto climbed in through the window. "Don't you worry, my little Pinocchio," he said. "I will make you some new feet." Pinocchio was pleased with his new feet and felt very sorry for the trouble he had caused. "I shall go to school and make you proud of me," he said to Geppetto, "but I will need a reading book first." Geppetto sold his winter coat and used the money to buy Pinocchio the reading book. The next day, Pinocchio set off to school. On the way, he saw a puppet circus. He sold his book and used the money to buy a ticket for the show. Pinocchio forgot about school and his promise to Geppetto and stayed all day and night at the puppet circus. He even took part in the puppet show and was paid 5 gold coins. On the way home, Pinocchio met a fox and a cat. The sly old fox pretended to be lame. The sneaky cat pretended to be blind. Together, they tried to trick Pinocchio out of his gold coins. Pinocchio ran quickly away from them. The fox and the cat were not going to give up, so they chased him and tied Pinocchio to a tree. But luckily for the naughty puppet, a kind fairy rescued him and scared the fox and cat away. "How did this happen?" she asked. Pinocchio started to tell her the true story, but then lied and said that he had lost the gold coins. They were not lost at all, they were in his pocket. Then a strange thing happened. Pinocchio's nose began to grow longer and longer. Every time he told a lie, his nose grew and grew. His nose grew so long he could not get in through the door. When the fairy believed that Pinocchio had learned an important lesson about telling the truth, she took pity on him. She called to some woodpeckers, and the birds pecked Pinocchio's nose back to its right size. On his way home, he met the fox and the cat again. This time, they succeeded in stealing his gold coins. Pinocchio told the policeman, but he did not believe his story, so he put Pinocchio in prison. Many years later, when Pinocchio came out of prison, he went looking for Geppetto. The puppet maker had, of course, been searching for Pinocchio all this time. In his search, the old man went to sea in a boat. When Pinocchio went to the seashore, he could see Geppetto's boat tossing about on the waves. Pinocchio swam out to help him, but the waves were high and the sea was very, very rough. Pinocchio met a dolphin in the sea. "Geppetto has been swallowed by a sea monster," said the dolphin. "I am very sorry for you." Pinocchio swam sadly on to reach an island, where he met the fairy again. "I don't want to be a puppet anymore," he said. "I want to be a real little boy." "You can be a boy if you're good and you go to school," said the fairy. Pinocchio tried to be good, but it was too hard for him. he ran away to Playland. At Playland, he and the other boys were so lazy, they turned into donkeys. One day, the circus came to Playland, and the circus owner bought poor Pinocchio. But when he hurt a leg and could no longer perform as a donkey, Pinocchio was cast into the sea. He would have drowned, but the fairy rescued him again. The good fairy turned Pinocchio back into a proper puppet. But Pinocchio's adventure was not over yet. A huge sea monster swallowed him, and there, inside the fish, he found Geppetto. Together, they planned the escape when the monster was asleep. The moment came, and they swam out of the monster's mouth. From that day on, Geppetto was looked after by Pinocchio. One night, he dreamed the kind fairy forgave him for being naughty and praised him for looking after Geppetto. When Pinocchio awoke, he had found she had granted his wish. She had made him into a real boy. The end. Well, thank you guys for joining me for another story. Make sure you keep checking back. We'll have another one coming real soon. Until then, God bless. Take it easy and love you.